With another year behind us, it's time to look forward to what catalog of new game releases 2024 has in store for us. When it comes to gaming, I definitely tend to fall for aesthetics first, followed by the story bits, and lastly, followed by gameplay. Hi everyone, I'm Amor, and I'm a lover of various genres, which means I'm constantly being faced with adding more and more games to my ever-growing backlog. This year will obviously be no exception, but here are just 7 games I'm looking forward to above the rest releasing in 2024. The Little Nightmares series has consistently impressed me with how wonderfully it handles atmospheric horror, and I have a feeling this new game won't disappoint either. Coming off of such a strong installment with Little Nightmares 2, I have a lot of high hopes for where Bandai Namco plans on taking us this time with the lore, puzzles, and undoubtedly the new frightening monsters we'll encounter in Little Nightmares 3. We've got a different developer working this time around on this game, but I'm not worried at all. Supermassive Games already has experience working with the horror genre, and from the teasers we've seen already, they seem to have no problem leaning into that creepy element both subtly in the background and up in your face. Cooperative play does make a return, but the devs have reassured that you can still play solo just with an AI companion. I'm personally already obsessed with our 2 new main protagonists, Lo and Alone. It seems like this game may be a bit more combat forward, as each character has their designated weapon, and the gameplay teasers highlight each character's strengths and how they'll play off of one another. As of yet, Little Nightmares 3 has no confirmed date outside of a 2024 release, but you can definitely bet the moment a release date is announced, I'll be replaying through the previous games again to build up the excitement. The amount of times people look at me weirdly for saying I grew up with the GameCube yet never played this game is a lot. I've heard nothing but praise upon praise for Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door, and so I'm definitely excited to finally get the opportunity to play the remake when it comes out this year on the Nintendo Switch. Despite being almost 2 decades old, I have no idea what I'll be getting into with this game, but I do know it's likely to be a good time. Like I said previously, aesthetics are what catch my attention first, and the visuals for this remake look super clean and vibrant. The world looks so whimsical, and whatever plot is happening, I'm already amused by it. There's a Yoshi with a mohawk and a boo purple lady thing with luscious lips that has me feeling a certain way I can't quite find the words to properly articulate. Only a 2024 release date is confirmed, but I'm sure the moment Nintendo announces a date, all of my friends that are excited for the nostalgia trip will be letting me know immediately. On the topic of remakes, Luigi's Mansion 2 HD is something I've absolutely been longing for years now. Luigi's Mansion was my first ever GameCube game and is still something I absolutely adore to this day. I did get to play the second when it was originally released back on the 3DS, however, I didn't enjoy it as much purely because it was on a handheld system. Growing up, I was super picky with what games I liked to play on the 3DS, and there were just some I wish I could have played instead on the big screen. Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon being one of them. Now with this remake, you can definitely bet I'll be giving this game its fair play and likely won't be able to put it down. The visual upgrades look phenomenal, and the music playing throughout the trailers already has me teeming with nostalgia. Co-op play makes a return again in the form of different multiplayer modes, and Polterpup still looks absolutely adorable. I'm looking forward to all the things I missed out on with the original story, and definitely hope that this remake is a success that Nintendo considers giving the first game the same treatment. Luigi's Mansion 2 HD is slated for a summer 2024 release on the Nintendo Switch. Set in war-torn 19th century Japan, Rise of the Ronin caught my interest when it announced Team Ninja as being the lead devs behind it. Open world with sleek cinematics sprinkled between action-packed gameplay, I found it impossible not to include this game on my list of my most anticipated games of 2024. The narrative being teased in the trailers already alludes to a lot of gritty and dark moments, and with the historic influences, I know I'm in for quite a ride. According to the summary, our choices will have influence on the story, which hopefully means there's some great opportunity for replayability. Team Ninja is especially known for their hack-and-slash gameplay, and while I'm definitely a fan of this sort of style, I do hope they find a balance of upholding a strong narrative, similar to how Sucker Punch Studios did with Ghost of Tsushima. Rise of the Ronin is set for release on March 22nd of 2024, and as of right now, is planned exclusively for the PlayStation 5. Where do I even start with this game? I've unfortunately never had the pleasure of playing a Suikoden game, but you've got some of the creators of the series helming Aen Chronicle 100 Heroes, and let me tell you, the hype behind this is so real. We follow the journeys of 3 heroes as they encounter over 100 potential allies against the threat of an invading empire. The visuals are full of charm and nostalgia for that classic JRPG feel. The gameplay system is turn-based, where you'll take command of up to 6 units, all with the opportunity to create unique combos during combat. Outside of being a story-rich game, which, yes, I am very much on board with, I'm also super excited for the kingdom management-like portion of the game with your character's home base. Here, you and your allies will prepare for battles, build up facilities, and eventually guilds to further your character's skills. A feature about this game that really makes me sweat with anticipation is the war mode. With over 100 different potential allies, I'm eager to play with so many different strategies that hopefully will help me curb stomp my enemies. Aen Chronicle 100 Heroes is confirmed for release on April 23rd of 2024 on all systems, PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and of course, the Nintendo Switch. I hold a very special place in my heart for the amazing work indie devs do, so when I first came across Path of Tootus, my heart was immediately smitten. Inspired by Japanese folklore, it's a fascinating Metroidvania game where you play as a fox spirit and undertake a mystical journey with your shape-shifting bow staff in hand. The visuals are gorgeous and have a very dreamlike aesthetic to it that I know is going to end up distracting me in a good way during combat encounters. The gameplay is very reminiscent of Hollow Knight with its 2D action platforming, but carries its own unique style that definitely sets it apart from other games in the space. I'm very much looking forward to encountering all the different yokai, collecting Daruma dolls, and experimenting with all the different Omamori amulets you can obtain. Path of Tootus only has a 2024 release notice at this time, but if you're interested, definitely make sure to go wishlist it on Steam to support the developer. Have you ever gotten emotional while watching a video game trailer? Because I have. Several times, I think. But most recently, after watching the trailers for Europa. I don't know what the feeling is that I get from hearing the words spoken during a trailer, but it brings literal tears to my eyes and I just can't shake this feeling of, yeah, I gotta play this game. Set on the moon of Europa, you play as an android named Z in search of answers through a once thriving utopia. With stunning visuals that remind me of Studio Ghibli and Ni no Kuni, much of the gameplay for Europa seems relaxing with old ruins to explore and puzzles to solve. You have a jetpack that you can use to peacefully glide through the skies as you work to discover the story of the last human alive. Not much has been teased in general outside of being a peaceful exploration game, but whoever directed the dialogue behind the trailer did an immaculate job. Europa was originally intended for a 2023 release, but now seems to have a confirmed release date of April 16th, 2024.
Come to the island if you ever get lonely. Come here and think of me.
And that's all for my most anticipated games of 2024. Of course, there are so many other games being released this year, and I hope to get to them at some point in my lifetime. I'd also definitely love to hear what games you all are looking forward to playing the most down in the comment section below. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!